we are joined by the extremely talented and multiple Triple Crown winning pickleball pro, Leigh Waters. How's it going?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Doing great. And we do have a bunch of great questions for you tonight from some of the top pros in all of pickleball. But before we get to those, I do have to ask, how did it feel when you won your first Triple Crown?
I mean, honestly, I think it was more not necessarily the moment it happened. I mean, the moment it happened, I did jump up and start screaming around. But I don't really think it really sunk in until I was driving home and I was like, wow, all that hard work. It had been my dream since I think when I first started playing pro and I was seeing Ben Triple Crown and I was like, wow, that is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. So actually doing that was just really amazing. And I'm so glad that I got to do it at the beginning of the year when I turned 15, because especially at being 15, it's insane to have completed that goal. But I was just super excited, especially when I got to repeat it again in Utah. I mean, it's just been, this year so far has been amazing.
When it seemed like you were about to possibly get that second one, how did that feel like? Did you have even more pressure than you did the first time just because you were like, wow, this might happen again?
I think when I wake up in the morning and think about it, that's when most of the pressure is, because once you get into the third final of the day, you're so exhausted. I was playing in the mixed doubles final in Utah with Ben, and I was after the match, I couldn't really remember what had gone on because I was just I played all day, and it's so grueling to be out there playing 3 out of 5, especially when you have to do it 3 times in one day. But the feeling after is it's almost like a relief and excitement at the same time. So it was really cool, especially when your whole family's there and you get to share it with them too.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, that is awesome. And I can't imagine, I get exhausted just watching you play in all those games on championship Sundays. I don't know how you can do that, especially when they go to 5 games sometimes. I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, it's grueling, especially when this last tournament I was in Atlanta and it was so hot and we were out there playing 5-setters in the women's doubles. So it was so fun, and we didn't quite get it, but I mean, it's still amazing to be playing in finals on championship Sunday.
Very cool. I feel like enough questions from me. Nobody came here to watch me ask you questions. Everybody wants to see you answer some questions from other pros. So without further ado, this first question comes from the very talented and successful Collin Johns.
Hey, Leigh. Collin Johns here. I have a question for you about playing with Ben. What's been the biggest challenge about playing with Ben as his mixed partner this year, and how have you been able to adapt to that challenge?
Thank you for the question, Collin. So I would say I love playing with Ben. I mean, our relationship on and off the court is amazing. I love hanging out with him, and I really love playing mixed doubles with him. But one thing that's different about Ben than playing with, say, my mom is that he's not as vocal on the court as she is. So that was something that I kind of had to adjust to in the beginning, and still am learning my way around it. So I would say that is the most challenging thing, but at the same time, the way that he plays is kind of different from my mom. So I would say adjusting to his personality on the court versus my mom's personality on the court was something that I was not used to. But the more I play with Ben, the more I get used to it, and the more I really enjoy playing with him. But yeah.
Speaking of Ben, this next question actually comes from the man himself, Mr. Ben Johns.
What's up, Baby Waters? I have 2 questions for you. First of all, what is your current school curriculum in its entirety, and how do you like it, and what do you think of it?
In its entirety.
Oh, yeah, big word there, Ben. So right now I'm doing an online private school out of Nevada, and I'm currently in 10th grade, but I actually just finished 10th grade today. So that was really cool. But this curriculum was pretty difficult, actually, when I first signed up for it. This is what he's talking about. It's kind of a little inside joke. So Ben took engineering in school, and so he had to take chemistry, really high level chemistry, as his major. So this year was my first year taking a chemistry course, and I thought I was just signing up for the regular old chemistry course, but I got the college level chemistry course.
Oh, no.
So I wasn't really expecting that. So like when Ben came over to our house, I was showing him some of my chemistry stuff, and he was like, yep, this is what I did freshman year. Yep, I just finished doing, like, he was just telling me that he was doing all this stuff. And I was like, all right, Ben, I need you to sit down here and I need you to teach me how to do this chemistry right now. But yeah, so my course was really challenging this year. So finishing it and getting good grades was a really big achievement for me.
Nice. Well, congratulations. It's something to definitely be very proud of. But here is question number 2 from Ben Johns.
And second, what in this world are you better at than your mom other than pickleball?
Let me think about, I would say one thing is soccer. She used to come out and like practice soccer with me all the time, but I'm better than her at soccer. Another thing I'm better than her at, Mom, I hope you're not watching this, but I think I'm better than you at cooking. Just saying.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Interesting. What's your favorite thing to cook?
I love making mac and cheese. It sounds very simple, but it can be very tedious, but it's very good.
Nice. All right. Well, this next question comes from one of our favorites, and it is the Major League Pickleball MVP, Leigh Whitwell.
My other mom, my other Leigh.
Annalie, if you had to match your shots to your favorite desserts, what would they be and why?
Ooh. Interesting.
I know, right? So one of my favorite desserts, I would say, is ice cream, and I would match it to my backhand because I think it's pretty smooth. I would say another thing would be my drive, and I would match that to like a chocolate lava cake because of how it explodes when you open it.
Oh, nice.
So
I got to admit, I'm impressed with your answer because I thought that would be a tough one to answer for somebody. That was a very unusual question, but you were right on the ball.
Anything with dessert, I got you.
Nice. All right, this next question comes from one of the all-time greats in the sport of pickleball. Here's one from the one and only Kyle Yates.
Hey, what's up, AL? So we know you're driving now. So my question for you is, should we be concerned? And is your driving anything like your pickleball game? Fast and furious? Or is it more grandma style, nice and slow? Because we need to know. If you're going to be on the road, I need to know if I should just get off the road altogether or be concerned or if it's safe. So let us know what your driving style is like.
Well, for the world to know, I'm a very careful driver. It's definitely not fast and furious like right now, at least. Anytime a car is like coming next to me or like we're going different directions and we're super close, I'm like, Mom, there's a car. Mom, help me, there's a car. I slow down super slow. And I'm like, I say I'm better at backing up than going forward, which I think is pretty cool. But at the same time, it's maybe a problem because you do go forwards more than you go backwards. But at the same time, my mom says I'm a pretty good driver. So I don't think you have to worry about me too much on the roads. I'll definitely be in the slow lanes and not the fast lanes.
All right. That's good to know. Thanks for the question, Kyle. So we heard from 2 of your former MLP teammates, so it's only fair that we get a question from your third teammate. So here's a question from the very talented AJ Koller.
Annalie, what's up, girl? Hey, I want to know what your biggest fear is, besides the obvious, my backhand flicks and my lobs. But what's your biggest fear? And I'm most curious to see if you might share a certain phobia that one of your relatives may have demonstrated in the past. Yeah, just wondering.
So I feel like there's got to be an inside joke in there.
There were a couple inside jokes. One thing I want to say is I see Chet Subaru in my nightmares. So that is one of my phobias. No, it's not. I love his videos. But the phobia he was talking about was my dad gets super claustrophobic. And we had like we had this minivan, and I think it was at Mesa at the JW Marriott. So we were all staying there. And it was me, Ben, Collin, Sydney, my mom, my dad, Hannah. There were just like a bunch of us in this minivan, and we were all like jam-packed in this car. And my dad goes, I'll get in the trunk. So my dad gets in the trunk, and he is the most claustrophobic person on the planet. Like, we were at Disney World or Universal, and he had to like get out of his like the harness that's in there. So he's like, get me off the ride. We got him off the ride. He's had like claustrophobia ever since then. But we're in this car, and he goes, I'll get in the trunk. So we slam the trunk. We start walking back to get in the car, and we hear, get me out. So we had to run to the back and open him and get him out of the trunk. But it's just like this inside joke that we have now about always renting a minivan when we go to tournaments. But my biggest fear, I would say, I really don't like spiders or like insects. So I would say maybe that would be it. Like, I'm afraid of butterflies. I don't think anybody knows that, but I don't
really?
like butterflies. Yeah.
I didn't expect that to be one of the bugs that you're afraid of. That's interesting. Is there a story behind that? Like, did you have a traumatic experience?
I went to Butterfly World with my parents in Florida when I was like 8, and they kept like landing on me, and I've had butterfly fears ever since then. So don't take me to Butterfly World.
Okay. Noted. All right. So this next question comes from an exceptional player that I really miss seeing regularly on the pro scene, and that is the one and only Steve Deakin.
Hey, Annalie, it's no secret that you are probably the most gifted athlete on this planet. I know you excel on the pickleball court, but I want to know what you excel at off of the pickleball court.
Ooh, that's a good question, Steve. I miss seeing you at all the tournaments. I would say off the pickleball court, I excel at cooking for one. I love working out, so I would say maybe I excel at even like some off-court workouts and soccer. Those would be my 3 things.
And here is question number 2 from Steve Deakin.
And my second question here is 2024, split age. You and I are going to dominate. Let's make it happen.
So it seemed like more of a statement than a question, but
I know. Do I have a choice in the matter, Steve?
Right?
No, that would be really fun. I haven't done a split age event in a while, so that would be really cool. But maybe in a couple years too, before like maybe like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, we could play some senior pro mix together too. That would be cool.
Nice.
I'm asking like 2050 around that area.
Okay.
You available, Steve? I'll put it down on my calendar right now.
Yeah, there you go, Steve. 2050, mark it. This next question comes from a great friend of ours here and one of our favorite pros asking pros questions askers, and that is the one and only Irina Tereschenko.
What's up, Eddie and Webby? What's up, Baby Waters? This is Irina Tereschenko. I have a question for you. Do you know who this is?
I bet she doesn't.
And my next question, what is the best advice you've given to your mom and vice versa? On court and off court. That's a lot of questions. Good luck.
Okay, so the first one, that was definitely Mills, 100%. I played singles against him, I think, for practice in Newport last year, and I love playing with him. He's super fun. But I would say the best advice that I've ever given to my mom, that's really tough. I would say just rip it when we're on the court. That's one of the favorite things I like to say to her. Like, if I see her like dink 3 balls in a row after the point's over, I'm like, come on, Mom, you could have ripped the second one. Like, what are you doing? But I really like giving that advice to my mom. And for advice my mom's given me, I would say is if I'm on the court, she says like, just be you. And that's one of like the most important things that she's ever told me when I'm on the court. And even off the court, it applies there too, because just be you, like, you know, be yourself. Be on the court, like be confident in yourself, know your strengths. So I really like it when she says that to me.
Nice. I like it. Well, we've had some great questions from a bunch of great pros tonight, but I feel like we can't have a pros asking pros questions segment with Baby Waters without getting a question from Mama Waters. So how about we have your mom join you to ask this final question of the night? How's it going, Leigh?
How's it going? She wasn't waiting for her entrance or anything.
No, that seemed like totally just unplanned. That was just very, very nice and impromptu. I like it.
I was just in the vicinity. I mean, what are you even doing at the house? It's not like we live together or anything.
So my question to you is, today Annalie finished 10th grade, so it was very exciting in our household, and we went out and celebrated. But we are going to have a 7-week break where there's no tournaments in the second half of June into July. So there's going to be a 6 to 7 week break. And so I'm curious to know, like, what are you going to do with yourself? What are you looking forward to doing with this summer and with this break?
So I am looking forward to playing pickleball, of course, and training, but I'm also looking forward to doing some stuff like outside of the pickleball world, like hang out with my friends, go to the beach, get a tan. I'm trying to think what else. Maybe play some golf. We live in a community with a golf course, and I just made a golf date with one of the guys who plays out here. Well, not like that.
Did you know about this, Mom?
You heard it here first.
He's 70 and it's with my dad, so I don't know if I consider it a date, but it's kind of a date. But I want to play some golf, and like maybe play a little tennis. That would be kind of cool. But I don't know, just do like some new things that I can't really do when I'm away at pickleball tournaments. So like some fun stuff.
I like it.
Very nice. Now, I'm surprised that you said pickleball, so I'm just curious, like, is pickleball still fun? Like, even though, you guys play it so much on a professional level, like, do you still actually like playing pickleball for fun when you have free time, or are you just like, I'm going to take a break from pickleball?
Yeah, especially if it's with, like, friends who are good at pickleball but are, like, not, like, pro level or top 5-0s. Like, it's fun to just go out with your friends and play pickleball every now and then. It keeps it fun, and it reminds you why you do play pickleball is because you love playing the sport. But also we do competitive training, of course. So we like to keep a balance of the two.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think for both of us, like what made us love the sport was the rec games and going out and playing with your friends and just having a blast for 3 hours at a time. And so we're really trying to, I think we forgot about that for a little bit. And we're trying to get back to that because we want to keep the sport fun for both of us. And we want to keep those friendships solid. And I think to intermix the fun and the rec with the pro is a way to keep maybe us in it for the long haul, especially this one. She's only 15, so let's keep her in it at least for the long haul.
Yeah, that would be great. Please do. But yeah, it's funny that you say that because I actually this year I feel like I kind of went back to my roots and have been playing a lot more rec play than I did the previous couple of years. And it does. It brings back it reminds me like why I got into this game in the first place, because I love doing tournaments and you can't replicate that intensity. But when you do the rec play with like just the local people or even just show up and play with random people, it's just something about it. It's something you don't get anywhere else, and it's a very cool thing. And I urge everybody out there, like, make sure you keep having fun when you play pickleball. Don't just focus on tournaments and trying to do as good as you can. Have some fun out there too.
Yeah, we in Atlanta, a teenager came up to Anna Leigh and he said, "What is like the best advice that you could give me?" And what did you say?
I said just have fun. It sounds kind of cheesy, but like it's the most important advice because I think I got so good from just having fun and playing with people that I enjoyed playing with. So I think having fun is a big driver in the whole thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like when Eddie and I play, we do horrible, but we have so much fun the whole time that it's a blast, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
That was classic.
That was classic. I hope Eddie's watching this.
Oh, yeah. No, this was awesome, though. Thank you very much, Anna Leigh, and thank you, Leigh, for closing this out with another great question. But another great installment of Pros Asking Pros Questions. And everybody watching out there, let us know who you want us to feature in future episodes. Drop us a comment below, and we'll see what we can make happen.
Pickleball addicting and fun, that's no joke. Pickleballing, it's not just for old folks.